make a lot of jokes on the channel about not needing to talk about Lushen. So, let's talk about Lushen, but for realsies this time. Lushen is a Nat 4 that can be summoned via scrolls or... That's where that thought ends, actually. Lushen's claim to fame is twofold. The first is an AoE ignore defense on his third skill, and the second is a leader skill that increases your allies' attack power by 33% in dungeons. So basically, you want to be bringing him into places where you want to deal huge damage with very little setup. When looking at usage rates, Lushen sits really high up in dungeons because of his use on the dot team. You can bring him in the elemental halls. In fact, he's actually number 1 on all of the elemental halls except for fire, and that's just not his fault. He's also used in Steel Fortress, Arena, Guild Wars, you name it. You can rune him on Swift or fast on Fatal or Rage if you want him to move ahead of the rest of your dot team. In fact, Rage is how you'll probably want to build him in most circumstances because it gives the biggest bonus to crit damage at 40%. If this video were shot a couple years ago, I'd be telling you to rune your Lushen a little bit slower, but times change and so does Summoner's War. Now what you want to do is if you can reach that crit damage threshold, then you want Lushen to move first so that he can clear out a full wave and the rest of your team won't be wasting valuable seconds. Now if you're new to the game, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you throw Lushen onto your team as soon as you get him. In fact, you should actually spend a little bit more time with an HP lead in dungeons instead, because introducing that extra attack power sounds like a great idea early, but really you could be introducing an element of variance that just doesn't need to be there that early. Of course, Lushen's second home is in Arena and RTA as part of Cleave comps, and Cleave, by definition, is where you try to wipe out the enemy team as quickly as humanly possible. A classic is the Megan double Lushen comp in Arena. When you're bringing him onto Arena, because you have a bigger element of control, you can just rune your attack bar booster to be the fastest on your team. You don't need to waste any of those stats on Lushen, and then he's there with high attack, crit rate, and crit damage, ready to wipe out the enemy team right after. Okay, so I don't know the timestamp exactly, but hopefully that was Lushen in 2 minutes. If you have any further questions about how to rune your Lushen, ask away in the comment section. We got a lot of knowledgeable people here, and you can always come by our streams on Wednesday and Friday to ask questions.